Hello and welcome back. We are now ready to study music of the Renaissance era. You can look at this big list and read all about it, and that's not very interesting. Or we can watch the little video that I found on the internet. All right, this our chance now to listen to a specific performer, well, composer from the Renaissance. His name was Tielman Susato, and he is really known for introducing the first music publishing house in the Netherlands. The piece we're going to listen to is from a collection of dance music called the Danserye. It was published in 1551. That's kind of the before and after date for music history. The Renaissance musical time period that we talk about is roughly between 1400 and 1700. So that gives you kind of an idea about what was going on else in history at the time. Renaissance music is known for having 4 or more parts with a very rich texture. They focused on harmony and a great concern with the flow and the progression of chords, blending the music strands together rather than contrasting them, which we heard earlier in the Middle Ages, and music based on modes. The modes of scale are when you take, like, for example, C major, but you go from D to D, and it gives you a different sound than D minor. It would be called D Dorian. So we can talk more about that in class. But that's basically what Renaissance music was about. One of the biggest influences on the distribution of music on a wide scale, up to and including worldwide, was Susato's printing house. The ability to mass produce music, not just books, but books of music, and get that into people's hands. That was huge. The music of this Danserye by Susato is still performed today. There are modern band arrangements of it, and there are original recordings, because people would play on period instruments like the ones that you heard in the little video at the beginning. He wrote this so that it could be played with any combination of instruments. So it didn't necessarily just have a trumpet part and an oboe part and a guitar part or lute. You could use whatever you had on hand and still it would sound good. Tielman Susato, was known as a town musician, as a trumpet player. So he'd be the one that would get up really early and climb up into the tower and play a fanfare and then read the daily news. That's kind of the job. One other interesting thing about Renaissance composition, they were not written in full score. They would write out just the individual parts. So it's not like you had a conductor with, a baton standing in front and giving you, gestures about when to come in and all that. You just had the individual parts. So as they were composing, they would have to pay a lot of attention, because when you get 4 or more parts going, that's pretty complicated. So let's now listen to a little bit of music from the Danserye. And there you have a little bit of Renaissance music to whet your appetite. There's a lot more interesting stuff in the Renaissance. So we will see you next week.